Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so after the last video where I reacted to Allie X, of course, I wanted to have the full experience. So, I have my tea here and I'm ready to have it all. That sounded weird, but...
Preview.
We are ready? Are we? First song is called Paper Love. Okay. This song is actually more dark than the songs that she put in Collxtion 1. And actually the lyrics are more random here, but they make sense to me. I don't know why. It's pretty simple, it's a simple song of course, but that change from the first project to this one, I wasn't expecting it, and it is. And also you can feel all these different influences, the oriental part, the Japanese music, those little hip-hop details here and there, but that heavy production is what really made the difference. And I like this one a lot. This is more into my taste. It's a great start. Next song is called Vintage. Right away, the first thing that I thought was that this song was actually into the Bloom world, Troye Sivan, and I looked up it on the internet and I find out that this song was written by him too. So, guess who's a genius? That's right. I'm liking these beat drops that she started doing in this album. And this one is really on a different level. I mean, it has all these different vibes of these different eras in music and just all this mixture of elements in it. And it's just perfect. I'm also kind of enjoying the fact that these are simple pop songs, just a vibe too, but they have good production. I mean, they're entertaining. Next song is called Need You. Where'd you go? Right here. Pause. This verse, for how it is structured, and it's like a sort of a conversation. It has this conversational feeling to it. Kind of reminds me of the first verse of Hard Feelings by Lorde. And that is probably one of my favorite songs ever because it's so personal and so raw. And those kind of lyrics and the way to put words together are always so visual to me. I don't know why, but I can picture a situation in my head where all this is happening. Valley Girl is a boy. I just keep telling myself over and over anymore. Wishing out that I could erase it, but I don't know what to do. Ooh. Yes. Wow, I really like this song, and the combination of their voices together is perfect to me. I mean, sometimes when you have a featuring, it could be a good thing to do or the worst decision you could ever make in an album, especially. But this one is really much needed. I mean, his voice was so smooth and clear. It kept that conversational part that I was talking about in the first verse alive, and that's what I really liked. And it's fun to me, the message too, again, it's about a relationship, and even though in the chorus they say, I don't need you anymore, in the bridge, plot twist, because they're saying, I'm missing you, parts of you, and I wish that I could erase you, and I miss all your calm and nirvana, and the fire and the drama. So all the bad stuff and the good stuff, they're missing them. So it's like a plot twist in the bridge that always gives you that little spark of hope. It gives the message a whole new meaning that is sometimes what we need in a song, because you think they're going one direction but then they're going the other opposite one. It's always so relatable, also because if you think about it, a lot of us, we just try to convince ourselves that we don't need that person anymore or that situation anymore, but at the end, deep down inside, you know that you will always be attached to that specific person and that specific situation, and you cannot think about yourself and what's good for yourself. And so yes, it's just relatable, and the fact that this song is a duet is just even more interesting because it gives you two different sides of the story. Next song is called Casanova. Okay. This song is actually pretty interesting in the production because it's an electronic dance song. It has all these different elements of the electronic song. It's always good to have an electronic song on the album. You know you're gonna have a bop. I mean, and this one is actually the post-chorus. It has that beat drop that is a kind of different beat drop. It's not what you would expect after listening to the first two tracks where the beat drop was a beat drop. This one was a very shy beat drop, let's say that, but a very interesting one. And I mean, it was the kind of production that producers used to do back in 2017. I mean, I kind of see a little bit of Tableau in this production, the Lady Wu project. Yeah, and it's good. Okay, next song is called Lifted. Oh. Take me to Jamaica. Wow. I like this so much. I really wished I was high listening to this song, because I mean the intro was pretty clear to me from the beginning. I mean, I was in Jamaica just under the palm trees drinking pina colada and all of that. But again, let's be real for a sec. I like the fact that the verses were quieter than the choruses. I mean, also the voice production. I like the fact that she was talking about general we. I mean, we're the lifted boys and girls. We like grunge and rock and roll. I felt part of that. It's just a fun song on weed to me. And how you felt lifted and you feel lifted. And all the ways you can feel lifted, because sometimes you just need that let's be honest. You give this song your interpretation depending on what you normally do when you want to feel high. I mean, not heavy drugs, because no, don't do that. But weed or alcohol, just to forget things. I mean, to get by. Sometimes you need that, but don't do it. I like the samples they used and also the distortions on the production that gave the whole song a kinda dark mood. Next song is called Simon Says. So is this that English game where you play in a group and somebody says, Simon says, stand up, and you stand up. And if that person doesn't say Simon before the action, you're out of the game. Is that right? I mean, I only played that once because we're in Italy, so...
Every day I'm sticking on my tongue. Every day I take a step back. Mom says I'll fade away. Sister says that she's scared. Dad says I've let him down.
She's doing again what she did in the last project with her mom, sister and father. I like the fact that she talks a lot about her family in her songs in a kind of good way. Two voices. Ooh. Interesting track. I mean, again, why I'm not high while listening to this album. Still wondering why. This song is one of those songs that you just want to listen to it loud. I like the fact that she uses these simple lyrics to some of her songs that speaks better than complex ones. I don't know if you got it, but just those simple words that hit you because they are relatable and that are straightforward. I mean, the production is super good. I love the fact that these sounds are digital and they're not shy. I mean, when they play are just so hard, especially in the outro. I was confused at first because I thought that this song was about maybe a toxic relationship when the other one of the two really don't want to see the real situation. I mean, Simon says that I'm the best, so I believe him even though he's a piece of shit. You know? Okay, but then at the end when she says, I got a friend and you'll never see, and I think about the Simon Says game where nobody knows who the fuck is Simon. It could also be as sort of an imaginary friend of hers. It's kind of twisted because if you think about it and you as a person believe what your imaginary friend says to you, we have a problem, you know? So it's pretty sad on that note, but hey, at the end of the day, she still got that one person that she needs to cheer her up. But again, the fact that we can give different interpretations to this song is what makes this song interesting to me. So next song is called Old Habits Die Hard.
Shame on me, slap on my wrist, at your...
Oh my god, all the loops that they used in the outro, the voices and the instrument. The production of this song is on point and the message is pretty clear too. It's just a funny way to think about your weaknesses and how sometimes You say, okay, I know that I shouldn't be with you and I shouldn't act this way, but I'm gonna think about it later because I know that I'm a weak person, I'm a weak piece of shit, and I'm gonna do this mistake over and over again. So it's better to procrastinate, don't think about it because I know my weaknesses and fuck it. So it's just a funny way to see that side of your personality. When she says made a promise, made a pact with my fingers crossed behind my back, it's just, yes, relatable because it happens. Also, I really love when artists do this kind of shit. Like you're in my muscle memory. That muscle memory is the heart. And that is just the strangest way to, when they do these things, they just let you in their brains. Next song is called That's So Us. Yeah, it happens.
We've been around together since 2009. Really put yourself up in a maze me. That's so us, that's so us. You know you're a cancer, we take on.
Well, I'm a cancer.
You cry, you make me not want
just
to
love
die. I'm your girl. Shit gets real good.
This song is the first song that I think is the most pop one on this record. But I mean, she put out all these statements in the first verse that are so relatable. I mean, can't do crowds, not our scene, we get anxiety. Felt that. Wearing black at the beach, looking pale, feeling cheap. Felt that. When she says we think that politics is such a waste of time, I mean, I don't think it's a waste of time because you have to be informed. But I'm not really into politics, and I'm kind of bored when people talk about politics. My brain switch off. So I felt that too. We've been a wreck together since 2009. I mean, yeah. But the most interesting line is when she says, we've seen each other naked, seen each other cry. So this line actually made me reflect about the fact that usually when you see somebody cry is when you see them for who they really are. And naked almost. So the fact that she said, we seen each other naked and we seen each other cry, it's like she's saying the same exact thing, because when you see a person cry is when you see them at their worst. So without any armors. And that is the most interesting line to me. The verses and the pre-chorus, I really like them. They are relatable, but the chorus is not really my thing because it's way too pop and catchy and upbeat. It fits the mood of the song, but it's not really my cup of tea for this project. If it was in the first project, I would have been okay with it. But this one is way too pop and happy. I mean, we needed that, I get it, but I don't know. There's something that is missing, but we had good lyrics in it. The next song is called Downtown. Oh.
I thought if you had a beat right now, but you got me figured out.
Where are we going?
Take me downtown, use my body all night. I'd do anything to get me some. Stop me before time goes into my heart dies. Give it one.
So again, this song is about love and infatuation, and how sometimes people treat you in a relationship and you let them treat you. I love the way she starts songs. Love is a condition of the head, and it can be true. I just want to reflect more on that line, and I just want to do it off camera because that's a strong statement. I thought if you had a piece of me, I could keep the other 2 or 3, but sometimes when you are in an abusive relationship or with a person that really doesn't care about you, they just treat you like you're garbage, so they take everything and then they leave you there. This song is pretty sad, and that's why I hope that the chorus was more big in a sense, but with less production. I was expecting something more in the chorus, less perfect, with less production, different instruments to give me that shiver that I was expecting, but it didn't. So the first verse and the pre-chorus, I was sold. But then the chorus started and I was not really into it that much. Next song is called True Love is Violent. It's a ballad.
Hungry current sucking at your feet.
Oh,
It will capsized, battered and bruised. Don't know what you got until it's gone. Don't know. True love is violent. True love is violent.
oh.
Drowning in my body, mind and thoughts. My mind. Heaven could fall and angels swarm, but don't know what's
Okay, so perfect song to close the album with, actually. I was expecting a song like this to be the previous one, but I'm happy that she decided to put a song like this as the final one, and that she decided to put a ballad on the album, and a ballad that feels like it. From the verse to the pre-chorus to the chorus, everything is just more deep and personal. I can feel it more here than in the previous song. And it's also a way of saying that she's actually accepting the fact that everything is not perfect in a relationship, and it shouldn't be. And she's letting go of those toxic people and those toxic relationships she was talking about. It's just a way of saying I'm feeling hope right now, and I know that everything will get better. I realized that true love is violent, and that violence should wake you up in a way to realize what you're missing in life. It has a lot of different interpretations to it, and that's what I like about her the most. This one is actually more into my personal taste in music compared to the first one, even though the first one I really loved that, but had more 80s influences and it was more upbeat. The lyrics were more joyful at sometimes. This one was more dark with the heavy production, was more electronic, and the lyrics were more raw in a way, personal in a way, but we had those elements of fun here too. So these two phases of this project made me love it even more. I don't really have a favorite one for this album because there were a lot of different components that I liked in each song. So thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you.